Daniyl, chapter 8.
In the 3rd year of the reign of King Baalshazar, a vision appeared to me, Daniyl, after the one that had already appeared to me. And I saw in a vision, and it seemed as I looked that I was at Susa, the citadel, which is in the province of Elam. And in the vision I saw that I was by the river Yule. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, standing beside the river there was a ram, which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward, northward, and southward, so that no beasts could stand before him, neither could any deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will, and became great. But as I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west across the face of the whole earth, without touching the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing beside the river, and ran toward him in the fury of his power. And I saw that as he advanced upon the ram, that he was moved with rage against him, and gave it such a blow that it broke off its 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he threw him down to the ground and trampled upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram from his hand. Therefore the he-goat grew very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and in place of it 4 notable ones came up toward each of the 4 winds of heaven, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which grew exceedingly great toward the south, toward the east, and toward the land of beauty. And it grew great up to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and trampled upon them. Yes, he magnified himself as high as the prince of the host, and by him the daily were taken away, and the place of the sanctuary was cast down, and the host was given him against the daily by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and succeeded. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said to the one that spoke,
How long will be the vision concerning the daily, the setting up of the Lord of heaven, and the surrender of the sanctuary, and the host to be trampled underfoot?
And he said to me,
For 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary will be cleansed.
When I, Daniyl, had seen the vision, and was searching to understand the meaning, then behold, there stood before me one having the appearance of a man, and I heard a man's voice between the banks of the river Yule, which called out and said,
Man of Yahweh, make this man understand the vision.
So he came near where I stood, and when he approached, I was frightened and fell down upon my face. But he said to me,
Understand, O Son of Man, for the fulfillment of the vision belongs to events that will take place in the time of the end.
Now as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep, with my face toward the ground. But he touched me and set me upright, and he said,
Behold, I will make you know what will be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed, the end will be. The ram which you saw, which had 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia. And the he-goat is the king of Greece, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now, because it broke off, and whereas 4 stood in its place, 4 kingdoms will stand up out of that nation, but not with his power. And in the last days of their kingdom, when the transgressors have reached their fullness, the king of fierce expression and understanding dark sentences will stand up, and his power will be mighty, but not through his own power. and he will destroy astoundingly, and he will succeed and practice and will destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy, he will also cause craft to succeed in his hand. And he will magnify himself in his heart, and by peace will destroy many. He will also stand up against the prince of princes, but he will be broken without hands. And the vision of the evening and the morning, which was told, is true. Therefore, seal up the vision, for it will be for many days.
Then I, Daniyl, fainted and was sick for a number of days. Afterward, I rose up and performed the king's business, but I was astounded at the vision, and I did not understand it.
Daniyl, chapter